Hi guys, Dr. Nightingale here, your clinical dementia specialist. You know, over the last couple of weeks we've been reading a story about Daniel, who lives in a nursing home, and he'd had a stroke. The story is called My Dreams of Being, and we are currently at chapter 3. So today I'm going to read chapter 3, okay? And chapter 3 is called Bingo by Name, Bingo by Nature. Okay. I'm sat in my chair having another one of those wonderful dreams. This time I'm walking through the beautiful green hills in North Wales. Angel is by my side. She was my rescued dog, rescued from a home where she'd been kept in a kitchen for over 4 years. She was a purebred white Japanese Akita that looked just like a polar bear. A funny dog, really. No patience for small animals or children, but as loyal to me as anyone or anything has ever been. In fact, at the time, I also had a Welsh cob called Shiloh. Another funny bugger, but full of character and an ability to know exactly when I was having a real bad time. He was equally loyal. There was understanding between the three of us, a kind of unwritten rule that no matter what happened, we would always look out for each other. There was no anger, no malice, no hate. There was only unconditional love. Now, where could you find that in the human race? I spent my entire life working with people who had troubled minds, not excluding my own, may I add. And yet I never managed to unravel the mystery of why people can be so cruel to each other. So walking through this beautiful countryside with Angel, or cantering through the field, or galloping across the beach on Shiloh was my way of escaping from the world, from the hurt, from the inhumanity of it all. No hidden agenda, just escapism. This is why I slip into these dreams when I can. I can't do these things in reality, so I return to the times when I could. And sometimes I feel like Mr. Ben. Now, perhaps only my English followers and subscribers will know who Mr. Ben was. Mr. Ben was a cartoon character who worked in an office, and he had this mundane job, and he used to get so bored, and he would walk into his cupboard in his office and suddenly transform into a different character and go on an adventure. I was always an active guy, on the go from 1 minute to the next. Being like this isn't the best way to be in the world. However, for a guy with a wicked sense of humour, it can be fun. Sure, I'm always forgetting stuff. I need them to do more or less everything for me now. But I'm still me. I'm still alive inside, and I can still get up to mischief every now and then. Take today, for instance. I was enjoying my dream, but have grown accustomed to being roused from my dreams by the weird one, the one with the shape, or if I'm lucky, by Carrie, who is so gentle and kind. I know that with her there would be a smile waiting, and probably a cup of weak milky tea, just how I like it. Today I was shaken away by that bloke they call Mr. Eyes Down. His name wasn't attributed to him because he was what they call the activities manager, but because he always walks with his eyes looking downwards. They've got nicknames for everyone, even the manager, who they're called Sideways Bob. And that's because he never looks at you when he talks. He always looks to the side. If you think about it, this lot are all a bunch of funny buggers. Don't you think? Anyway, in fear of turning into Ronnie Corbett, again, another British reference there, I'll get back to the original story. Eyes Down wakes me up with a jolt, and because I'm obviously deaf, he shouts in my ear, "We're going to play bingo now!" He showed me a table, and he put a ticket on it. Then he cleared off. I thought to myself, how the hell do I play bingo without a pen? Looking around, I saw that nobody had a pen. I might be familiar with that scenario. So I asked for one. I just waited. Again. We wait for so long in this place. It's like waiting for Christmas Day on Boxing Day. One of the crew, a woman called Ellen, wise in the ways of bingo playing, shouted out at Eyes Down, "Oi, I need, you know, one of them things. Don't worry about that. The staff will help you. We can't let you have a pen because of health and safety." He didn't look at her, but at the carpet. Health and safety? My God. What do they think we're going to do with a pen? Write with it? All this kerfuffle's left me wanting to go again. But I'll have to wait, as it's obviously not toilet time yet. Now then, campers, are we ready? Eyes Down blurted out and caused Vicky to jump out of his skin. Well, she was asleep after eating one of those loaded jam sandwiches. Campers. What the hell is he on? This is no holiday camp. Believe you me, if it was, I wouldn't be stuck in this chair, tilting sideways and drooling like a rabid dog, having to listen to Eyes Down shouting stuff like, "On its own, number one." I bet he's on his own, the bloody nuisance. So we played bingo, or at least the guards did. We just sat there, waiting for the tea trolley, the toilet, the pills, bed. I did hear Sideways Bob mention something about a trip out on the bus though. Well, when I say bus, what I really mean is the rickety old minibus that's freezing cold and sounds like a Sherman tank. Suddenly, 7 of us are shifted into wheelie chairs and taken outside the Sherman. The weird one was in charge of mine. And as always, he said absolutely nothing. The one with the shape shoved a handful of prescriptions in his hand and gave him instructions. He grunted a response before we were lifted into the waiting scrap of metal by the very wobbly tail lift. So wobbly, in fact, that by the time the weird one had seated me and secured my belt, I resembled one of those nodding dogs we used to have on the back shelf of the car. The weird one jumped in the front of the driver. I don't know who she was, as I had never seen her before, but she liked to whistle a lot. Not that she was any good. When she did try to make a sound, what came out was a noise that resembled one of them clangers being strangled by a piece of chicken wire. Now those are thoughts. Anyway, the trip was fraught with danger as we crossed fords and climbed steep hills, avoiding landmines and a couple of elephants. If only. We were out for about 10 minutes, a quick drive down to the bottom of the road so the weird one could collect more pills from the chemist. I did manage to sneak a look at a couple of trees that lined the road and even spotted a guy walking his dog. The excitement was so overwhelming I could hardly contain myself. On our return, the weird one pushed my chair onto the tail lift, but forgot to apply the brake. Rather than disastrous, this was to my advantage. Well, I have to get my fun from somewhere, don't I? Not being very bright, the weird one stood in front of me. For some reason, my good leg got a twitch, quite a strong twitch at that, and caught the back of his upper thigh. Oh dear, I thought as he tumbled off the back of the Sherman and hit the ground with a loud thud. Oh, I laughed inside. I laughed so hard. So much that I thought I was going to burst. Carrie came running outside, helping him up. He wasn't hurt and just grunted before casting a very sinister glance in my direction. Though I don't know why. Carrie approached me to check that I was all right. She noticed tears rolling down my face. Oh, don't get too upset, Daniel. He's not hurt. And anyway, he is a bit of a muppet. If only she knew that I was crying tears of laughter. Okay, I want you to think about that part of that story, that chapter, and think about what happened and think about all the things that Daniel was thinking and what he was living and what he was enjoying, and just kind of ask yourself some of the questions about how would you cope in that situation? What would you do if you were Daniel? What would you do if you were one of the caregivers? Let's think about that. And next week, we will complete this story with chapters 4 and 5. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, guys, say it with me. Dump the soda.